Welcome to Little John's Yarns. Today we're going to do some curvy girl crochet. If you wear a D cup and always want to make your own crochet halter top, then this pattern's for you. We'll hop right into the tutorial. Today we're using a 4mm crochet hook, size G, and some worsted weight yarn. I'm using Lion Brand's Pound of Love and Bubblegum. We're going to begin by making a slip knot. We will now chain 15. 1, 2, 3. I'll meet you at the completion of your 15 stitches. We've completed our 15 stitches, and now we are going to single crochet in the second chain from the hook. And we're going to place one single crochet in each stitch across. We are going to stop when you get to the very last stitch. We'll work that one together. So single crochet all the way across until you get to the very last stitch. I'll meet you there. We've made it to the last stitch in your chain, and we're going to place 3 single crochets into the same space. 1, 2, 3. We're going to place a stitch marker into the middle single crochet, the second one. We're going to call this the top of our stitch. So we're going to put it in the middle of the 3. We're placing a stitch marker here so we can easily find it on our next row. Alright, now that our stitch marker is in the middle space, we're going to place, let me zoom in a little bit, we're going to place 13 single crochet down the bottom side of your chain stitch. Try to weave in your ends at the same time. It's your first one, second stitch, and third stitch. Complete putting your single crochets all the way to the very end of the row. I'll meet you there. We've made it down the opposite side, and now we're just going to chain 1 and turn your work. This sequence of stitches, this row, we're going to repeat for a total of 14 times. I'll show you what we're going to do. We're going to half double crochet into the very same space. This chain 1 does not count as a stitch. Half double crochet into the same space, and half double crochet into the next. Continue putting half double crochets in each stitch until you make it to the stitch marker here. I'll meet you when we make it to the top of your stitches. We made it to the very top where the stitch marker is, so we'll remove the stitch marker. And we're going to place 3 half double crochets into this very space right here, and we're going to mark off your center half double crochet. So let's count. 1, 2, that's the one we're going to mark, and place your third stitch into the same space. 3. On each row, we're going to put 3 half double crochets into that center marker. So let's complete putting our half double crochets down the other side of the row. So place 1 single half double crochet in each stitch until you make it to the other end. I'll meet you at your completion of half double crochets when you make it to the end. We've made it to the end of the row, and let's put the last half double crochet in together. Try not to forget the last space for your half double crochet, because sometimes you can miss it by accident, so let's not do that. So we'll put this last stitch in together. Okay, we're going to repeat this row again. I'll work this row one more time with you, so just to make sure you understand what you're doing. So chain 1, half double crochet into the very same space, and half double crochet in each stitch until you make it into the very top right here. So continue placing half double crochets in each stitch until you make it to the top. I'll meet you there. We've made it to the top stitch where your marker is. Remove your marker and place 3 half double crochet into the very top stitch. 1, 2, and 3. Don't forget to mark off your center half double crochet. Now continue placing singular half double crochets all the way down to the other side. Half double crochets in each stitch. So I'll meet you at the completion of this row. We've made it to the very end of the row, and we're going to repeat this sequence for an additional 12 more rows. I'll meet you at the completion of another 12 rows. So do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 all the way through 12. I'll meet you at your completion. We've completed our 12th row of half double crochets, and this is what it looks like so far. So altogether you have 1 row of single crochets and 14 total rows of half double crochets. Now we're going to combine both of our cups and put them together. So take your cups and turn them sideways. We're going to slip stitch to join both of these together. So find your first loop. Let me zoom in. Insert your hook. Take your loop from the opposite side and just pull through. Now let's slip stitch both sides together. Now go in through the next stitch here, the front, and go into the matching parallel back stitch right behind it and slip stitch. This will be your second one. We're going to do a total of 9. Let's do it again. Go in through the front, the back, slip stitch, 3, front, back, slip stitch, 4, front, back, slip stitch, 5, front, back, slip stitch, 6, front, back, slip stitch, 7, front, back, slip stitch, 8, last one, front, back, slip stitch, and 9. Now fasten off your work. We're going to move on to the very next step. Next, we're going to begin by attaching our yarn to the very top of your cup. That will be the center of your 3 half double crochets. So you can remove your waste yarn, your stitch marker, and let's attach a new strand of yarn. Chain 1. We're going to half double crochet, we're going to double crochet into the very next stitch. Chain 1, skip a stitch, half double crochet in the next. Double crochet in the next, forgive me, double crochet. Chain 1, skip a stitch, double crochet in the next. Chain 1, skip a stitch, double crochet in the next. Repeat that until you make it to the bottom of your cup. We've made it to the bottom part of your cup, and you'll notice you'll have 2 stitches after your double crochet, a space right here and a space right here. We're to skip both of those stitches. I already chained 1, so skips 2. 1, 2, and you're going to double crochet in this space over here. and we're going to repeat by chaining 1, skip a space, double crochet into the next, chain 1, skip a space, double crochet into the next, chain 1, skip a space, double crochet into the next. Repeat this sequence until you make it to the very top of your second cup. Okay, I've made it to the top. Here's the very top, so I'm just going to chain 1, slip stitch to join. There we go. Chain 1, turn your work. We're going to slip stitch into the very same, we're going to slip stitch into that double crochet right here from the previous row. Slip stitch, chain 1. Now we're going to place another double crochet on top of the previous double crochet. Chain 1. Double crochet on a previous double crochet. Chain 1. Once again, double crochet on the previous double crochet. We're going to continue that until we get to the second to the last double crochet on this side of your cup. We'll stop when we get to this stitch here. Alright, we completed that one. I told you to stop when you get to the second to the last stitch on this side of your cup. We're going to chain 1. These 2 middle stitches, we're going to skip these 2 double crochets, and we're going to double crochet into the third one. 1, 2, 3. Double crochet into the third double crochet. Chain 1. Double crochet on the previous double crochet again. Chain 1. Double crochet. Chain 1. Continue double crocheting in the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In the next 5 double crochets. I'll meet you at the completion of this. Don't forget to chain 1 in between. Alright, we completed that 5th stitch. Now we're going to chain 1, and we're going to slip stitch into that very last double crochet from the previous row. And chain 1. Turn your work. And we're just going to repeat what we did on the last row. So we're going to slip stitch into the very first double crochet right here. Chain 1. Place a double crochet on the previous double crochet. Chain 1. Double crochet on the previous double crochet. Chain 1. And we're going to repeat this until you make it to the center part of your top right here. But we're just going to work these stitches together. I won't fast forward through. Chain 1, double crochet. Chain 1, double crochet. Chain 1, double crochet, and chain 1. We've made it back to those center 2 stitches. Once again, we're going to skip these and double crochet into the third double crochet. We already chained 1, so let's skip 1, 2, 3. We'll double crochet into this stitch. Chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, and we'll place one more double crochet right here, chain 1. Now we're going to slip stitch into the previous double crochet right here. There you go. And we're going to do this for one more row. Chain 1. We'll work it together. Slip stitch into the previous double crochet right here. Chain 1. Double crochet into the previous double crochet. Chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, and double crochet, chain 1. We've made it back to the center 2 stitches. We're going to skip those and double crochet into the third one. So already chained 1 stitch, skip 1, 2, double crochet into the third, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, and we're going to slip stitch into this previous double crochet there. And we're going to fasten off your work. And we'll move on to the very next step. We're going to flip our work upside down, so we're going to be working on the bottom of our halter top. Oh, let me see if I can find my yarn. Alright, we'll begin on the right hand side. Let me zoom in so you can see. I'll begin at the very edge. To make it simple for you guys, I'll begin with the very first stitch that you can see from this row. Attach your yarn. Chain 1. That does not count as a stitch. Single crochet into the very same stitch. We're going to evenly single crochet across the bottom of your cup. Try to put them as evenly spaced as you can. I'm sorry, I can't get my work right. There we go. Single crochet. This gives the bottom a nice foundation. Single crochet. It doesn't have to be precise. Don't worry if you have a little missed stitch. With crochet, it almost like self-corrects itself. So continue evenly placing single crochets all the way across the bottom of your cup until you make it to the other side. We've made it to the other end, and now we're going to chain 1. Turn your work. Single crochet into the, let me zoom in for you. Single crochet into the very same space, chain 1, skip 1 space, single crochet into the next, chain 1, skip 1 space, single crochet into the next. These skip spaces are going to be where your the strap is going to be weaved in and out of the front of the cup. So chain 1, skip one space, single crochet into the next. Chain one, skip one space, single crochet into the next. Chain one. We're going to repeat this all the way across, all the way to the other side of your cup. I'll meet you there. Alright, we made it to the end of the row. We chained one and we'll put in the last single crochet together. If you come up with an odd number of stitches, it's no big deal. Just put another stitch right into another single crochet. And now fasten off your work. Now we're going to connect the straps to the top of your halter. Make sure your top is turned the correct way. We're going to be working towards the very top. You remember where you had your 3 half double crochets into the same space? That's where we'll be working. You'll be able to locate it easily, because where we started our double crochet chain ones, you'll notice the stitch is a little bit pulled and it doesn't look like a typical stitch. It'll just be a strand. So locate that, and we're going to count 3 stitches over from there. There's the random strand. 1, 2, 3. This is where we'll attach our yarn. We're going to chain a total of 75. So I just chained 2. This is how I get rid of my extra string. It's weaved into my work. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Do that for a total of 75, and after that we'll start on the other side. We've completed that first chain of 75, and we're going to repeat the same thing on the other side. Locate the very top of your cup. You'll notice the very one strand here that doesn't look like your other stitches, and we're going to count 3 over from there. 1, 2, 3, and this is where we'll attach our yarn. And we're going to chain 75. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is how I get rid of my little tail end. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Continue till you make it to 75, then fasten off your work. Okay, we're almost done. Now we have to create a chain that'll weave in and out of the bottom of your halter top. So we'll do that now. We are going to chain 200. So begin by making a chain of 200. I will meet you at the completion of your 200th stitch. Okay, we finished crocheting 200 stitches, and what we do next, we're just going to weave your chain stitch in and out the bottom of your single crochet chain 1 stitch across the bottom of your halter top. Already began doing it, and since I don't have my needle with me, I had to do it with my crochet hook. So just work your stitch in and out. So in order for me to do this without my needle, which is difficult, I'm just go up, in, up, and I'm just going to weave my stitch through. Like I said, with a needle, it is so much easier. There you go. And now your top is complete. Make sure you weave in all your ends and cut off any little pieces sticking out. Hope you liked the video, and if you did, don't forget to give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you all on the next tutorial. Bye.